Halee Fit, welcome to the A-List with Alexandra.
Thank you so much.
You are a fitness guru. I love the shirt. You're repping the brand right now. It looks amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm curious to know, what is your earliest memory of getting into fitness since you are a personal trainer in the industry?
Wow, my earliest memory. So I've been an athlete my entire life. Ran track, played basketball. So I mean, athletics is like my introduction to fitness.
That's amazing. And when you get into the gym and you work out, do you have an earliest memory of being like, wow, this is my passion. This is what I want to do?
So I would say my passion for fitness and health was sparked in, I want to say maybe 2011 when I started playing college basketball. Like after high school, I was hanging out with the wrong crowd, doing whatever, the things that seniors do, right, when they graduate. But just had like a 360 aha moment where, I wanted to eat healthier, I wanted to work out. And so started playing basketball and I was working out consistently, running hills, running the lake. It was just like literally a 360, and everybody who knew me before, they were like, well, what are you doing? What are you eating? How did you get in shape? And can you teach me? And I think from there it really sparked the interest because I love to help people, right? And I think from there it really sparked an interest, like, oh, like maybe I can really do this thing. I mean, I had no background of health and fitness, but it was just who I was at that time. And I was merely extending myself, extending who I was, right? So just teaching, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just show you the workouts that my coach is showing us, and I'll just tell you what I eat, on a daily basis, right? It wasn't like a thought out nutrition plan. It wasn't a thought out fitness plan. So
That's incredible because you are a giver. You could keep all these workouts to yourself, but you've chosen to share the love and train women. And you have in your bio, you empower women, which I love. I am a big proponent of that. So where did you fall in love with the one-on-one work?
the one-on-one work, I think I started to fall in love with the one-on-one work, man, maybe like 2018, 2019. Just because I'd seen all the other trainers or people who were really doing it. I'm like, okay, well, this is the way to go, right? Just the one-on-one clients. So I would say 2018, 2019.
Now, what do you look for in a client? If someone comes to you and they say, Halee, I want you to train me, I want you to get my body into shape, what is your ideal client?
As of late, my ideal client is honestly someone who trains like me. I love to lift heavy. I love Olympic lifting. I love plyometrics. So I think maybe like a former athlete, the girls who like to lift heavy and the ones who, want to go after it. I do get clients who don't know anything about the gym, and they are great to work with. However, it's easier for me to work with clients who are similar to me or have similar goals to me because I can really train them like I train myself. Yeah.
Dream client. If you had a dream client, athlete, anyone you wanted to train, who would that be?
Ooh, dream client. Hmm. You know what? Honestly, like Rihanna or Lori Harvey.
Oh, those are good. Those are good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rihanna or Lori Harvey, especially Rihanna. I think I think about maybe 5'8", 5'7", and I like tall girlies, so I think she would be a good project. Yeah.
that would be fun. Okay, now those are my dream interviews too. So Rihanna, Lori Harvey, let's get in the gym. Let's get in front of the
Yes,
camera.
let's do it.
I love that. And now you also have athleisure wear, workout bands. You recently just shot for Halee Fit 2024. What
Yes.
can you share with the viewers? What can you tease? What's to come?
Yes. So 2024, we have lots of color. I'll just put that out there. Lots of color. We have shorts coming for the summer and the spring and just the cutest sports bras. So be on the lookout for that.
Ooh, I love that. And now
Yes.
you run a woman-owned business. What advice do you have for other women looking to get into the fitness world or even just the entrepreneurial world in general?
Yeah, I think networking, as cliche as it sounds, is the biggest thing, right? Having a community of, men or women in your field who you can just, hey, text, hey, what would you do for this fitness program? Or this client is looking for this particular type of goal. I don't, I've never worked with this type of clientele. Can you give me some feedback, some advice? So just having like that hub of, entrepreneurs or trainers who you can kind of go to and pick their brain. I think that had a lot to do with my success, honestly, because not having support, you're just kind of like on Google with things and you're like trying to figure it out on your own, right? But if you have other people who've been through that situation, they can kind of just give you the answer. So
It's true. Networking is everything, connections, and it just makes it so much easier to be out here and have people you can rely on, ask questions to, and kind of base your fitness off of that. That's really amazing.
yeah, absolutely.
And you also are a model, obviously. I mean, look at you. You
Yeah.
are a model. Do you ever feel social pressures to look a certain way, to be better, do more? Or do you feel that you've kind of built a really strong confidence where you can tune out that type of noise?
Um, hmm, that's a good question. I think I don't feel pressure. If I'm honest, like I feel like I've been like this person for so long. It's just like who I am, like I show up a certain way because it's who I am. Like I don't feel the need to look, a certain part. Um, but I will say that in terms of being a trainer, I do feel like there's a certain pressure to always look your best. Like you always need to be in shape. You always need to have a six pack. Your muscles always need to be popping, right? And if I'm honest, that's not realistic, because our bodies change. We may have weeks where we aren't working out, or even, months where we aren't working out. Like I know trainers who, they can't get around to their workout because they're coaching 7 days a week and they have a bunch of clients, right? So I think one thing or like a piece of advice I could give to trainers, this is kind of like off topic, but prioritize your own journey, because we put our clients and athletes and, coaching before our own personal journey sometimes. So
No, that's a great piece of advice. I was going to say, if you have any advice for other fitness trainers out there, you gave one piece of advice. What are two more pieces of advice that you really think have stuck with you and really helped build who you are today?
definitely getting around like-minded individuals. I would also say become good at the things you're not good at. For me, like the first couple years of business, I don't know anything about Shopify. I didn't know anything about taxes, and I was spending so much time, trying to do those things. And like in the beginning, you can't always afford to outsource or afford to hire an assistant or afford to hire, an accountant, right? So you almost have to get good at those things until you can afford it. So I would just say try and get good at the things that you're not so good at, right? I think another thing for business is, or maybe for modeling. I think for modeling, I would say start small. Um, in the beginning, when I wanted to get signed to an agency, like I was going to the biggest agencies in the industry, the Willaminas, the slews of the agencies, LA models, right? Just the biggest of the big. But my first modeling agency was a very small agency, and I got so much work. Like I was always working. And then once I was able to build up a portfolio, I then went on to a bigger agency who I didn't know at the time, but doesn't sign talent who's never worked or never been in the industry, So I wouldn't have even been prepared for that agency had I not started small. So I would just say start small.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a quick little rapid fire for the
Yeah.
viewers out there. We have a lot of burning fitness questions that we can get
Yes.
in.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's first start with describe Halee Fit in 3 words.
Ooh. Um, passionate, um, resilient, and sexy.
I love that. Passionate, resilient, and sexy. We could all use those 3 words to describe ourselves. That's something to
Yes.
aim for. I love
Yes.
that. Okay, what is something that someone can do every single day? They might not have the time to get to the gym or cook a healthy meal, but one thing that can make a difference if they do it every day.
Yeah. I think walking. It's easy. A lot of us have dogs. So walking your dog or taking a hike, LA is notorious for hiking. So taking a hike, walking your dog, something as simple as, doing like a fruit smoothie. Everybody doesn't always want to eat a lot of, greens. I understand it, but like a fruit smoothie, you can still get your nutrients in. So walking and fruit smoothies.
How many times a week should we be working out or even just moving our bodies in general?
3 days a week, minimum for 30 minutes per day.
Water. How much water should we really be drinking? 8 ounces, 4 Stanleys? What do I need to know?
Per day, I would recommend 4 16-ounce water bottles per day.
For food, how important is it to have a cheat meal, or is it something that you just incorporate into your daily life of you eat for moderation, or is it that you eat clean and then have a cheat meal? What is your regimen like?
For me personally, and everybody's goals are different, and I wouldn't recommend this to my clients. However, I eat clean, man, probably like 80% of the time, right? But you got the 20% where I like ice cream, I like chocolate, I like pizza, I like Chick-fil-A, right? But it is about moderation. And I think if, for example, you're eating really healthy 5 to 6 days a week, but you have that one day where you want to binge on something, that's okay. Just don't let it become 6 or 5 days of snacking and eating crazy and maybe one day of eating healthy, right? So it's not even about balance, because I think the healthy needs to outweigh the unhealthy, but everything in moderation.
Yeah, and honestly, I've honed in on cooking. Now,
Yeah.
these days, I'm like, I want a spicy chicken nugget from Chick-fil-A. Well, I can make it myself. And I think that's a really big factor, is being able to make those meals you love and you crave that might not be the healthiest, but cook them in your own kitchen because you know what you put in them. Would you recommend cooking is probably like a go-to?
Absolutely. I mean, you said it best, because you know what you're putting into your food. A lot of the times when we go to fast food restaurants or we eat out, we don't always know what's in the food, right? And it's not always clear, or it's not always on the label, right? And so I think eating at home kind of gives us like, okay, the comfort, I know what's in this.
I love that. Okay, what is the best go-to workout for a slower day, low key? You don't want to go too hard in the gym.
Mhm. Any type of circuit or hit training. And I love to give my clients, or even for myself, 45 seconds of work, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, 3 rounds, you're good to go. You've got a 30 to 45 minute workout, you've sweated, you've lifted weights, good to go.
And Halee, what is one thing you want clients to walk away feeling after they've trained with you or purchased from your line?
I think I like to, because a lot of clients come to me and they don't always have a fitness background, or they're intimidated by the gym, or I didn't know what to do. I don't even know how to lift this weight. Like, I had one client who said that when she went in the gym, she would just have a meltdown because she didn't know what to do. And a couple of days ago, this is a win for her. She said that she went into the gym and she just did what we would do throughout our routine, right? And I think just educating and almost empowering clients to be able to do it on their own. I don't always, I mean, I want you as a client for the long term, but I also want to empower you to do it on your own.
That's great. That's such an incredible message. I commend anyone who steps foot in a gym because it is not easy. It is not easy to work out in front of people. It's not easy to push yourself every day when we have work and everything else going on in our lives. So that is amazing. And it's a great message to instill for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, Halee, where can the viewers find you if they want to train with you, if they want to purchase for Halee Fit 2024? Lots of colors coming. Where can the
Yeah.
viewers find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Halee Mosley, and you can shop my merch or book a session at haleefit.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much for speaking
You're
with me.
so welcome. Thank you for having me.